What is up, guys? This is Good Ranchers, hosted at home. I've got our CEO and founder, Ben Spell, with me tonight. We're going to be cooking up one of his favorite recipes. Let me know what it is.
Absolutely. My very favorite original recipe goes back in my family many years.
How many is many?
Three.
This
is our ginger beef recipe. It's an absolute staple in our home that we make with our sirloin, our top sirloin.
Yep. Yeah, top sirloin. So we're going to be making this recipe tonight. One of the cool things about this specific ginger beef recipe is that Ben and his family, they use top sirloin. When I originally created this recipe, I used top sirloin. But you can use any one of our steaks. So ribeye, the T-bone, the strip cut steak. So any of our steaks, flat iron does a great job too. But Ben, why do you like the top sirloin over like a flat iron or a ribeye?
First of all, I don't want to be Mr. Contradictory here, but if you're don't use a ribeye or New York strip for this recipe. Those steaks are so delicious. Just pan over there for a little teaser just for a second. Don't talk about it, just pan. We're going to talk about that in a second. But a New York strip or ribeye, I'm a purist, a little salt. And if you just really need something else, a little pepper. Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
That's or maybe some butter.
Yeah, or some butter. Maybe a little bit of garlic.
maybe a little onion. No, purist. A delicious steak that's been raised right, harvested right, and aged. Salt is all you need. And if you just really need a little more pizzazz, maybe some pepper, maybe some butter. I'm a purist. But for this top sirloin, which actually are delicious with some salt and pepper, maybe I just like red meat. But if you're going to add, butter and garlic and onions and sugar and all the things with the sauces,
it's like a flavor party.
Yeah, you want to.
We're gonna have
you want to use something like top sirloin.
Yeah.
So we're using the top sirloin or our sirloin cut strip steaks.
Yep.
Those are interchangeable for this recipe. That's how we do it at our home. Go ahead.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with our top sirloin tonight. We're gonna marinate that with some soy sauce. You should have all this ready. Soy sauce.
Pro tip. Check it out. I don't know how many of you. Actually, I know all of you. You get your steak in a bag like this, and they come frozen. Here's the thing. Most people think, oh man, my meat's frozen. I got to put it in the refrigerator, let it thaw for 24 hours, 48 hours to be ready. False. What I do every single time we go to make steaks, I take it out of the freezer frozen like 30 minutes, maybe an hour before, and I walk it over to the sink in the bag, fill it up with water like this, cold water. You don't need hot water. Cold water, let it sit. Name that tune. Name that tune. Anyway, there it is. Cold water like this. So what I would do is I would fill the bag up with cold water. It doesn't leak because it's awesome. There's still vacuum sealed in there, perfectly frozen. And then I would start taking my onion, my garlic, getting all the other ingredients, the other things that we want to cook for dinner. Get that stuff ready, start prepping it. By the time I get everything prepped, my meat's ready to be cut and opened.
Nice.
Pro tip.
Awesome. Okay, guys, if you are on the stream and you have any questions for Ben, if you have any questions about the recipe, please comment. Go ahead and put it on the chat there. We got some people that'll let us know. We are here to answer all of your questions. First question, as we let the meat thaw.
Yep.
So big question here, but why did you and Corley start Good Ranchers?
Oh, well, I was unemployed. As many of us.
Oh, man,
as it happens to many of us. No, we were Corley and I. Corley comes from a very entrepreneurial family, and I do not. I come from a very risk-averse family, but Corley is up for taking challenges and those things. And I've been talking to her for probably about a year about the problems with the meat industry, because I had worked for a meat company early on in our marriage. I worked for a meat company doing outside sales, and I realized really quickly that there's so much misleading in marketing.
Right. Yeah.
And so after Corley and I got married, and I wasn't doing anything in meat at the time. I was working at a church. I was a worship pastor, and but I kept having these thoughts of the meat company and just the meat industry, and I kept just this resonating thing. And then after we had our first baby boy, Bear, who's now 6, this was in 2017 when we were pregnant with him. After we had him, we started really focusing on how important it is of what we eat, what we bring into our home. And so knowing what I knew from the little bit that I'd worked for a meat company, and knowing how misleading labels can be, how there's no country of origin labeling law for beef or pork in the US, and what you're buying at the grocery store, you have no idea where it came from.
Right.
We realized, okay, if we're going to actually know what we're sourcing, we're going to have to take the proverbial bull by the horns and do it ourselves. So, so we set out to find amazing meats for our family, our home. And we drew a line in the sand years ago and said, we're only going to sell, and this is still true today and will always be true, we're only going to sell what we would feed to our family, our friends, and be proud of. Yep. So that's what we do.
Oh, awesome. Sweet. Dude, an amazing story. That is so awesome, guys. So if you're looking for meat you can trust, obviously go to goodranchers.com. Benny Corley has done a great job of building an awesome culture and company that puts quality and America first, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Awesome.
And family.
And family, definitely.
And fun.
And fun. Family.
And freedom.
And freedom. Any more F words you can think of? Hey, I think the meat's probably thawed. We're going to go over here. We're going to take the next step here, and we're going to grab this meat.
Yeah. So with a little TV magic, voila. Thawed. And voila, it's already cut.
Hey, we're going to walk you through the process of how Ben likes to cut his top sirloin.
Did you hear the hesitation in Jermaine's voice? He said of how Ben likes to cut his, because he takes credit for this recipe, and I will give him credit. He did bring this recipe to Corley and I years ago. I think it was during the pandemic.
It was.
We were one of, like, we were like the safe home for each other back before we realized it was all a hoax. And so this was a recipe that you originally brought over.
I did, and perfected.
Corley and I definitely perfected. For one, Jermaine was just using store-bought soy sauce, which
I was definitely.
Corley would never in her life use soy sauce. We use an organic soy-free alternate of Coconut Secret.
Wait, what? Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So just real quick, we're gonna add this little aside here. When I make this recipe, I use regular soy sauce because I love soy sauce. But
there's so many jokes I can make right now.
many jokes you can make right now, but you're not gonna do that because
I'm better than that.
You are better than that. But Corley and Ben like to use a coconut amino
because
acid.
we care about our bodies, and we care about what goes into it.
They care about their bodies.
Why we source the way we do.
100%. So that is one of the very first. At the beginning, we talked about you can try different steaks.
If you have to use soy sauce, please use an organic soy sauce.
Use organic.
But don't use anything with all the GMOs.
Don't. Anyway, so you can substitute the soy sauce for the coconut amino acid.
All right, enough about soy sauce. Take it out. All right. Check the meat. So we have it cut up because we wanted to save time, but it's very important. Pro tip. Should be a thing.
It should be a thing. Pro tip.
Here's the thing. When you're cutting meat has a grain that runs in it. Do you see the way that's running, Jermaine?
Yep,
I know you don't know this, but
I don't.
I'm gonna teach you this right now. So what you want to do? Oh, thank you, kind sir.
That's what I do.
Here, just wait. Okay, check it out. So see the way the grain's running? That is a beautiful top sirloin. I mean, geez, somebody take a picture of this, put it into AI, and ask it how beautiful this steak is, and I guarantee you it would come back. That is a beautiful steak. Okay, so the way the grain's running, so you want to cut across the grain, and we cut thin slices like this. There we go. Thin slices like this. And when you cut it across the grain like that, what you do is you actually break up the muscle fibers even more to where it's super tender and it just bursts with flavor. All that white stuff you see in there, that's not fat, that's marbling. There's a big difference between fat and marbling. Marbling is intramuscular fat, and good steak, good beef has high intramuscular fat. So we just can take it like that, That actually is fat because sirloin does have a big fat cap on it. Ooh, look at that little.
Look at that.
Look at that guy. He was just hiding on the blade right there. Delicious. Okay, check it out. So we just continue to cut across the grain just like that. And that's how we ended up with a bowl full of deliciousness right there. Me personally, I would cut that off. He's going to look at me like, oh my gosh, why would you do that?
I definitely would look at him like, oh my gosh. Really? One of the reasons that you cut across the grain is so that you can really get that nice tender bite, which is what makes this dish so great for kids, is because you're cutting into smaller, thinner pieces. It's a little easier for them to eat. They're going to love that soy flavor. And then we're going to serve it over some white rice, which just kicks it up a notch. So if you're looking for
soy alternative flavor.
Or soy alternative flavor, like Coconut Aminos. If you're looking at ways to like an extend the meal, right? So you can take 4 of these top sirloins with the rice, man. For a family of 4 to 6, man, this is an amazing meal.
We are a family of 6.
He is a family. So okay, how many kids do you have?
4.
4. Okay. Last time we had Adam.
Matt. Oh yeah.
Adam.
Yeah. Talk about family of many more than 6.
Right.
Yeah. We. You know this is wait 24. Last year. Oh man, I can't remember what year Daisy was born. 22, 23, 24. Okay. Yeah. This is Daisy's
gonna go back and watch this one day. And
like, I know. Well, Corley and I had a new baby every single year for the first 5 years of the business. She was either pregnant or having a new baby. And so it's actually gotten a whole lot easier now that we've stopped having children. So,
but one of the reasons why y'all guys, decided to really try to find meat that you trust was because of the kids, right?
Absolutely. You care. I mean, obviously we've always been very passionate about what we eat and what we do. But once we started bringing humans into the world and bringing our own kids into the world, we realized, whoa, we really want to get serious about what we're eating, where it's coming from, what's in it, what's not in it, which is really, really important because less is more. Okay,
nice. Okay,
check it out. So got all the meat cut right here. Hey man, this is my recipe.
Okay, hey,
back up.
Get into it.
So, I asked somebody earlier because we were before we started the show today, we were having the debate on, he was saying that this is his recipe. I wholeheartedly believe that this is my recipe. For one reason.
Oh, tell me, please. The amino acids.
Well, you came up with a good idea, but I perfected it.
Okay.
Which gives it mass appeal.
Right, yeah. Totally.
Just like Henry Ford.
Right.
He didn't invent the car. He just figured out how to make it have mass appeal.
Right, totally.
I am Henry Ford.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
You're Robin, I'm Batman.
Definitely.
That's
what? No.
Okay, so we got our meat cut up. Check it out. So I'm gonna take my Coconut Aminos, soy boy over here. He would take his
I would take my regular soy sauce.
Okay. And I will say this, if you're following along, which I'm sorry if you are because we're off topic, but if you're following along, the recipe we have posted is awesome, exactly the way it is. Also, if you've ever seen Martha Stewart cook and pretend this is butter, and she's like, use a teaspoon of butter, and then she's just like, oh, a teaspoon of butter, right? And it just keeps going. You really can't mess this recipe up within reason. That's how life is. But with the soy sauce or the coconut aminos, you really just want to marinate it on there. You don't actually have to measure anything. One thing I learned by being married to Corley, she refuses to measure anything.
Okay.
I'm like a perfectionist.
Right. Yeah.
And I want like a repeated recipe, but she has worked that out of me over time. So you just want to get the meat nice and moist and put the aminos on there just like that. Boom, done. While I wash my hands, Jermaine, give me a sprinkle of salt and a sprinkle of brown sugar. Don't overdo the brown sugar.
All right, yeah, I got it. Yeah, so you add a little bit of this brown sugar. It adds like a touch of sweetness to this flavor. And then what it also does is, along with the soy sauce, when we go to sear it off, it caramelizes that meat a little bit. This is one of the tricks that a lot of like Asian dishes have. You add a little bit of that brown sugar and it adds.
All right, I'm back in because this is my recipe.
Got it. Get it in there. It's called velveting. It's a little bit of a technique. Go ahead.
Yes, velveting. Talk about it. Okay, so we put the brown sugar. Come on, man. Put more salt than sugar. Look at you. Hold on. Salt gun. No. Somebody. I had a salt gun for pesky things that fly. Someone took it from me. Okay, check it out. brown sugar, salt, we put that in there. Now, this is where we start to differ just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. This is definitely
What you like to do is you like to cook the meat and then start adding this stuff.
Right.
What I do is I take the ginger, because ginger takes a little time to cook down. So you want to chop your ginger up really fine. I go ahead and put it in there. I know he's sitting here looking like, oh my gosh, this is blasphemy. Okay.
Yep. I got it.
I like to take the ginger and put it in there right away. Mix it up. I've got the pan heating over there. Look at that wok right there. Boom.
Okay, so right now we're on the marinating step. We've just marinated the meat. We need to add a little. I think the sesame oil goes in there at this point right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that sesame oil. Go ahead.
Beautiful.
In there. Okay. Yeah, and so we've now marinated the meat. That's what step we're on now. We've already pre-cooked the rice. We'll show you that later. I'll give you a quick little tip on how to cook white rice on the stove if you don't have a rice cooker. Marinating the meat. We're about to go ahead and put it in the wok. You don't have to use a wok if you don't want to. You can use a regular cast iron pan or some sort of steel pan that we've used before. But the most important part, Ben, is what? When you're cooking off meat like this, what's the most important part?
You want to get your pan smoking hot.
You want to get it smoking hot.
Yeah. Okay, listen. This is how we know if it's hot. Beautiful. We'll just kind of stir it around right there. Let it sit. The meat's going to cool the pan down a little bit. You don't want to get the pan too hot, but you do want to get it hot enough to where it keeps the sizzle like that. We'll let it sit like that for just a little bit. Ooh, missed that little baby right there. Okay.
Nice. So, guys, if y'all are just joining us, this is Good Ranchers hosted at home with our CEO and founder, Ben Spell. If you have any questions, you want to ask anything about, like, where did Ben get this shirt? How did he steal this recipe from me? Whatever question you want to ask, add it into the chat function. We will ask it. Hey, guys, do we have any questions yet that the viewer wants to know? Because I'm ready to answer some questions. I'm sure Ben wants to answer some questions.
I think one of the questions is, what step are we on?
We are on.
Completely disregard it.
We have marinated all the meat.
I blame myself.
We're now searing off. This is going to take some time. We're about to start cutting the onion, which the onion is part of this recipe. So we're about to see Ben cut an onion. Okay, first question. What was the first, let me look at it. Okay. What was the first big hurdle when you started Good Ranchers? What was like that one thing that you were like, oh my gosh, I have to get over this hurdle for it to really start?
So when we started Good Ranchers, Corley and I, it was me selling meat out of the back of the truck in a parking lot. And she was at home with our newborn baby, running our social media channels. And so we've come a long way since then. But I would say the first hurdle, the first real hurdle was when we didn't know what we didn't know when we started. And when we first started, we didn't realize how corrupt the meat industry was.
Okay. And
we were buying through brokers who were telling us we were getting one thing.
Yeah.
But we can't say for certain that we weren't, but we can't say for positive that we were.
Yeah.
So the first hurdle was getting enough buying power to be able to go to know emphatically what we're getting is what we want, and what we're paying for, and what we're selling is what we're saying that is. Right. That was the first, getting enough buying power to overcome that.
Yeah. What's crazy is that's exactly what consumers are running into today, right? Like a family goes to the grocery store and they're essentially buying from somebody that they don't really know where they're getting their product from, right? So you walk in the meat aisle and you look, and there's no country of origin labeling law anymore when it comes to beef. There's none of these things, or pork. So it's essentially, you're running the same problem that a lot of our consumers and customers are running.
And you don't know what the animals ate. You don't know how they were raised. You don't know where they came from, and you don't know. Gosh, you really don't know any steak.
Yeah. Grocery store steak.
Yeah, that's what you know.
Nice.
Do we need to give that a little flip?
Yeah, I will go do that. Can you cut the or do you want me to cut the onion? What do you want to do? You get to pick. This is your show today.
Well, check it out. Check it out. Here's the thing. Cutting an onion is a very, very serious thing. Actually, cutting an onion for this recipe is very easy. You cut off both ends just like that. Most recipes, or a lot of recipes, you're going to dice onions. This recipe, we just cut it in half, and then we actually use big slices. So we just cut it like this, like that. That's done, because it's going to cook down in the pot and be delicious. So just kind of do it like that, and then break it up a little bit into some pieces like that. And then in a minute, we're going to throw it in there. That looks good. Show them the pot over here, how we got the steak cooking. It's not completely cooked, obviously. If I'm cooking a steak on a grill, I'm going to eat it medium rare. This recipe, we will cook it all the way through because we're cooking down the ginger. We're cooking down the onions when we put them in a little bit, and we're going to create a sauce to go with it that's going to go over rice, and it's going to be delicious. So,
okay,
for my fellow purists out there, don't comment that we're cooking it all the way through. That is on purpose.
Okay, so another viewer's question, Ben.
Talk to me.
Okay, you've eaten a lot of steak in your life at this point, right? You've had it all. What is your favorite steak? You get one steak. It's like your
man. That's like okay. Whoever you are, look at me in my eyes. That's like asking, what's your favorite breath of air?
Yeah, the last one.
It's just that's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's a good one.
That one sounded kind of rough.
I don't know, but it's steak is such a beautiful thing. That said, I have a top 3.
Okay.
There's a lot of cuts of steak.
There is.
The animal has a lot of meat on it. If I'm at a steakhouse, filet mignon, no question. If you disagree with me, you're wrong, and you can just take this and put this down and have a better life from here on out. At a steakhouse, your safest bet is filet mignon because steakhouses, they know how to cook fillets. They don't necessarily always have the right tools to cook something like a beautiful, watch out, marbled ribeye like this right here. Ribeye needs open flame to ignite that fire. Ribeye is always going to be better on a grill with real open flame.
I would agree.
But at a steakhouse, they're usually cooking on a stovetop, in an oven, on a pan a lot of times. Filet mignon is definitely best there. So I'm going to steakhouse, I'm going to go filet. If I'm at home, I'm going to go a New York strip.
There we go.
Boom.
Look at that strip. Where does this let me ask you a real quick side question here. What are we looking at right now?
This is our brand new release. On the top of our website, there's a little banner that says King Cut Box, just in time for Father's Day. We just released this week. We haven't done a lot of pomp and circumstance around it, but this is our King Cut Box. It's thick cut, bone-in New York strips. It's thick cut ribeyes, and it's thick cut. For the first time in the history of Good Ranchers, we have filet mignon, but not just any filet mignon, because so many people don't understand what a true filet mignon is. A lot of people will say fillets because by definition, any cut of beef, any boneless cut of beef is actually a filet. This is truly filet mignon, which is the tenderloin, the most tenderest part of the cattle, and the certain part of the cattle that is the leanest, the tenderest, and just absolutely awesome. So the King Cut Box includes 3 bags of this right here, where you get 8 cuts, thick bone-in New York strips, thick cut bone-in ribeyes, and I think we call it triple cut on the website, but it's actually quadrupled and quadrupled again. Yep. I mean, these tenderloin are just absolutely perfect. Every single bite would melt in your mouth. And so this is just in time for Father's Day. It's live on the website right now. Yep.
Hey guys, anybody out there that's looking for the perfect gift for their dad, either to gift it to them or cook it for Father's Day, use the code hosted at home for 10% off. Go to goodranchers.com, host it at home, and you get 10% off the King Cut. So hey, buy the King Cut box for the king in your life. I know my wife is buying me one because look at us, right? But anyway, so host it at home, 10% off. Hey, I went ahead and threw the onions on the pot because we are running out of time.
Okay.
So
check it out. So somebody asked the question, what's our go-to meal at home?
Yep.
Tell me yours.
Mine is actually pretty easy. I sear off a ribeye on a cast iron with some butter and garlic. Do that with a little bit of smashed potatoes in the oven with a little cheese. And that is honestly my go-to
meal at home. Yeah. So we have 4 young children, 6, 5, 3, and 2. 2 boys, 2 girls. So our go-to meal is actually they love steak. They absolutely love steak or chicken, and we'll do it with like broccoli. They like mac and cheese as well. Actually, not all of them, but 2 of them do, 2 of them don't, ironically. But my kids' favorite meal, which is another question, is actually this meal right here. Ginger beef.
my meal.
Well,
recipe?
you know, ginger beef is my children's absolute favorite meal. Both boys, both girls. They call it steak and rice. And anytime we make it, it's a huge hit.
I love it. I love it. Okay, guys, we're gonna go over here and throw this around a little bit, get it going.
Okay.
Next question.
It's done.
Yeah. Well, we're there. We're close.
Yeah.
We're close.
It's
We're
done.
close. We're close.
So once we get here, we take a stick of butter. We just cut it up. We just cut the stick of butter up and threw it in here. We put the onions in. Let them simmer down. We throw that stick of butter. It looks like more than a stick of butter.
Yeah. Well, you know the 3 ingredients to French cooking is, right? The 3 ingredients that every French recipe has.
Tell me.
It's butter, butter, and butter. And
think-
obviously, Ben's recipe is butter, a little
Is
bit
this
of onion.
Paula Deen or the French?
Yeah, you want to take over here?
Yeah.
This
I
is
do.
your idea.
I do.
Okay, so what is your
Oh yeah, this is looking real good.
Oh,
Are we
yeah.
on low here?
Yeah, we got it on high. So
Okay. I'm gonna throw it to low to
Okay.
just to simmer because
Yeah.
it's pretty much done.
yeah, you know what's funny is here at Good Ranchers we love cooking with butter and we love cooking with bacon. But guess what we have? We have bacon butter. So one of the questions that one of our
I just
viewers
got
asked
a new
us,
order of that in today.
you did awesome. So
I
one
did.
of our viewers asked us, I think it was Erica from Baytown asked us, what is your favorite use of our bacon butter?
Easy. Wagyu burgers or any burger.
Yeah.
Just my favorite use of the bacon butter is just to put it on a bun and eat it on a burger.
Nice. That
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
What's yours?
Mine's actually on a pork chop. So
Whoa.
yeah. So what I do is I take one of our steakhouse style thick cut pork chops. I actually just season with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'll sear it off on a pan, and then I'll just use a little bit of that bacon butter, and then I add some more butter to it because I love butter. And I use it kind of thins the sauce out a little bit, and it's just perfect. My son is like, Dad, can you make butter pork chops again? And I'm like, no, I can't because
I hate saying this out loud with so many people listening, but I've never done it on the pork chops.
oh my gosh, well, dude, you're missing out.
With friends like these who don't tell me what their favorite thing
Okay,
is.
so yeah, so we
hold on, just zoom in right here real quick. Obviously, we're trying to expedite some of this. What you want to do, this is amazing. You get the onions kind of cooking down. Once it gets to this place, you'll kind of bring it to a medium high heat, not completely high, but you're not completely low because you want it to thicken up a little bit. You want it to you want all the soy sauce and the butter, or the coconut aminos in our case, and the butter to kind of turn into a little bit of a thicker sauce and cook down into there. And then you take a lemon and just squeeze it on top like that, which really opens up that beef, opens up all the sauce, adds a little acidity to the mix, just like that. It is amazing. Also, pro tip, throw it in the garbage disposal and it'll help clean your garbage disposal and make a nice, beautiful smell in the home. Chemical free.
Yeah, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to add a little bit of fresh cracked pepper to her. So that citrus from the lime really helps cut down some of that fat from the butter. It just gives it a nice silky flavor profile to it. And the little bit of that pepper just adds a little bit of that bite you need to kind of just make a full complement of the flavor profile. Okay, Ben, let me ask you a question.
Answer.
Is our meat does it always come frozen?
Yes.
It does.
Yeah. And also, just so FYI.
And why?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What people don't realize. So much meat. I can't put an actual number on it because everyone does things differently. But just here's the thing. Being in the industry and knowing what we know, so much meat is frozen before it gets shipped to the grocery store, before it gets shipped to the butcher shop. And this also varies on different cuts. You know, when we say meat, a lot of times people just think that we're talking about beef. We sell chicken, we sell pork, and we sell seafood. let me talk about seafood, our wild caught seafood, which is absolutely delicious, except for the shrimp, because I can't eat shrimp because I'll die.
Well, I'll tell you, the shrimp is delicious.
I'm sure it is delicious, but I'm allergic to shrimp. I'm very allergic to all shellfish, so I've never had it, but I've heard that it's amazing. That said, here's the thing with seafood. You actually, fresher is actually fresher. I'm sorry.
No,
frozen. Did I say fresher is fresher?
Yeah.
Frozen is fresher, because what you want with especially seafood, once it's caught or harvested, you want to freeze it to lock in that freshness.
Yep,
and what you see in the grocery store is actually been frozen. And then what's sitting out there as quote unquote fresh is just thawing, which is it's just decaying. And that's why when you when you smell fish and you go, man, so many people like to say, I like fish, but I don't really want it to taste fishy. Well, that's because it's been decaying for too long. So when we catch our salmon, when we catch our shrimp, when we catch our fish, we freeze it immediately, which locks in the freshness, send it to your home, you thaw it and you cook it immediately, and it tastes just like it did when it was caught.
Perfect. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. No, frozen is fresher, and that's some of the technology that we use to vacuum seal and flash freeze our product allows us to keep it at the maximum amount of freshness. We age all of our beef a minimum of 21 days. If it has a bone in it, we go up to 28 days, which adds that tenderness. Mm-hmm. But that freezing process is actually part of our secret sauce. It helps us tenderize it a little bit.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. So
talking about spoiler alert, today, for the first time in Good Ranchers history, and we've been asked so many times by all of you, why don't you carry filet mignon? Why don't you carry filet mignon? So we know we talked about the King Cut box that we have available for Father's Day, which is everything you see right here. 8 beautiful cuts of just, if you want to wow the father in your life or anybody in your life, this is what you want to get for them. But we also went live today with our thick cut filet mignon bag, which you get 4, what you see right here, 4 quadruple trimmed filet mignon. You can add this on to any order right now for a limited time for $89. You can add it on to any order. It's live on our website right now. For those of you who don't know, any box that you pick, you have the option to add on whatever you want to add on. And right now we're super excited to be adding on, have available the filet mignon as an add-on. So that said, we got the beef ready. Jermaine, we got the rice ready.
Yeah.
Somebody asked us how long we've been friends. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
So tale as old as time.
Yeah. So we met when we were 18 years old, freshmen in college, and so we've been friends ever since. So I am now 28, so it's been 10 years.
It's been a long time.
He is 42, so
yeah, it's funny we were both 18, but now you're 28 and I'm 42.
Yeah. So
we've been friends since 2000. I
So.
moved here from Louisiana, and he's lived in these parts forever. Hey, what's your home grill setup?
So mine, dude, I don't, if you're asking me, dude, I have 3 different grills that I use. I have so I have an offset stick smoker that I actually got from Ben. I have a Weber. That's where it's been. I didn't get it from him. I took it from him. I have a little 12-inch Weber kettle grill that's amazing.
Okay.
And I just got a Traeger flat rock, their little flat top that is amazing. I love that thing so much. And so those are the 3 grills that I use all the time.
Very, very cool. We could not be more different. So again, those of you who heard, I've got a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old at home. So the luxury of firing up the grill and doing those things, we are all about quickness. I actually use, we have an open range, a gas open range like this. And I bought a cast iron adapter that just sits over the flames that kind of simulates a grill. And most of the time, I just cook my steaks or chicken or whatever I'm going to cook and grill. I put it on that little grill right over the open flame of my range inside. Make sure you turn on the hood vent and get the exhaust out of there. And yes, once or twice I've made big fires. And Corley was not happy about it. And I've also smoked out the house a couple of times.
we have actually.
But but it's quicker and it's easy. I do love a good charcoal grill. Ideally, I'm going to get real charcoal, real wood, put it in there, let it get that good smoke flavor. But when you press for time,
no, I get it. I get it. Like 4 kids will do that to you. Okay, guys, I think we're just about ready to plate. We got a couple other questions. So we're going to use white rice that I cooked on the stove really quickly. I'm going to tell you how I do it. So I always wash off my white rice. You want to get all of that, like weird starch off of it so it doesn't get too sticky.
Yeah.
Then
they put something on rice, and I can't think of what it is. They put something on rice
to enriching.
That enriching stuff.
Whatever it is. I wash that off, stick it in a pot. I put full of water. Honestly, like, this is gonna sound so funny, but if you use, it doesn't matter what the size of your finger, but if you use that first little break on your finger and put it to the top of the rice and put water up to right there, it is the perfect amount. I promise you, it'll work every time. Get it to boil, put the lid on, turn it down to simmer, 20 minutes, your rice is going to be perfect. I promise you, it's so easy.
All right, Uncle Ben.
All right.
We're not here to learn about rice. We're here to learn about ginger beef.
So hold on.
Where are you located?
Okay, go ahead. Tell me. Where are you located?
This is a question.
Oh.
Where are you guys located? Tell us where you're watching from.
Yeah. Let us know. Where are you watching from? One of the other questions they did ask was, what are some other options besides rice that you can serve this on? Broccoli, yeah.
Right now, so we actually live on the same street. Corley and I live about 7 houses down to the left from Jermaine and Erica. And Corley isn't eating. She's on a keto diet, and she doesn't eat white rice or any type of rice. So she is actually going to eat the ginger beef over roasted broccoli. Oh,
there you go. Roasted broccoli. You can use cauliflower rice. Yeah, you can Brussels
sprouts. Say cauliflower again.
Cauliflower. Say Worcestershire. Anyway, guys, we are ready to plate this real quick. We got a couple of quick. We're gonna plate it. Then we're gonna do some rapid fire questions. If anybody else has some questions, add them to the chat. If you love this recipe, go to goodranchers.com. You get 10% off if you use the code HostedAtHome. Get your dad.
If you love someone, get them the King Cut box. Or if you just love steak, if you want the best steak you've ever had in your life, order the King Cut box. Obviously, you guys who are watching, you're loyal customers, you're loyal fans. Everything we sell, everything we source is amazing, and that's absolutely true. The King Cut box, it absolutely blows my mind. I got it for the first time last week, and it's incredible. Okay, are we ready to plate this?
Let's plate it.
Okay,
let's do it.
We do have some new products coming, and I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but our filet mignon is a very new product for us, and we're super excited about it. There's a couple of reasons why. People don't realize that so many people are so far removed from agriculture and what it actually takes to raise cattle or chickens or hogs or fisheries, like all the things. There's so much more that goes into this. We live in this one button society thanks to Amazon, and you think, okay, well, I want a T-bone or I want a ribeye, and cattle take 2 years from birth to harvest, minimum of 2 years from birth to harvest, and they only have on any given cow, you only have, depending on how you cut them, maybe 8 to 12 T-bones. Right. You only get 8 to 12 of the tenderloin. So there's a lot of ground beef that comes. There's a lot of the shoulder and the roast and the other bigger parts. But your middle meats, the stuff that's why it sells for so much in restaurants. There's only a limited amount of that, and that's why we've taken so long to actually sell filet mignon, because you get the least of the filet mignon on the cattle, and because we care about sustainability and waste, we wanted to make sure that we got to a place to where we were harvesting it enough to be able to source that and sell it at a sustainable amount.
So for the first time ever, we have finally launched our tenderloin filet mignon. It is phenomenal, guys. Like I think we've had steak at name a steakhouse in the country. We've probably been there at this point. And this thing blows it out of the water. Again,
Outback.
Oh man, this with a blooming onion, perfect. All right, you guys ready to plate this up? We can take a look at it. All right, Ben, you do the honors. This is you're serving my recipe tonight. Go ahead and so
plate
it up.
German put the white rice. This rice is a little sticky. Yeah. It's okay.
Because I only went to 18 minutes. So
It's okay. All right, check it out.
Yeah.
So you just take the beef, put it over just like that, and then take a little bit of extra sauce, throw it on there. That's going to open up that stickiness of his rice. Boom, just like that. And voila. As they say where I'm from, laissez bon temps rouler.
Okay.
I don't know what it means, but
it's like let the good times roll. Here you go.
I know what it means. Come on, man.
There you go. Here you go.
All right,
I'm
so
gonna
you make your
mine.
plate.
I'm gonna plate mine over here while he spouts some more French.
Oui, oui. Je m'appelle Ben.
Okay, look at this. I'm from Texas, so it's all just let's get in here, y'all.
Okay.
So, all right.
This is pretty hot. I'm gonna burn my mouth.
Oh my god, this is so hot. It looks amazing though. Do you have any other like little quick recipes that you like to make at the house?
Yeah. So I make the best spaghetti because my grandmother is full Italian, and my mom taught me an amazing recipe for spaghetti, and I use our Angus ground beef, and then I'll chop up.
Hey, we got Adam Busby on the stream.
So,
look at this. He's just gonna take my plate off of Jermaine's plate.
He's just taking over. Okay, I'm gonna go with you.
All right. Yeah, this is like Lady and the Tramp over here.
All right.
That's really good.
Tell us the truth.
I feel like I'm in an Asian restaurant.
Tell us the truth. It's good, right?
It's really good.
Talk about it.
It's super hot right now, though.
It is. That's why I was kind of.
Is that me or the recipe?
I think I melted my taste buds.
So, back to quick and easy things that we make with our ground beef, and a lot of times I'll even use the Wagyu ground beef, even though they come in burger patties. You can just open up 2 of them because they're a 1/3 pound each. You can open those up and just throw those in a pan and cook them just like ground beef because. Spoiler alert, they are ground beef. They're just pressed into patties. So for things like tacos, I prefer to use the Wagyu ground beef that even though, we call them burgers because they're pressed, I still use those in my house. I use those for tacos. I'll use them in spaghetti. I'll use them for anything that I use ground beef for.
Yep.
And sometimes I'll take the Angus and the Wagyu and I'll mix it together. And then,
sounds delicious.
Yeah, just really open up the palate.
Yeah, staying on that whole like grind meats there. Our prime pork box has probably the best ground meat that we have, and it's a pork belly with Angus beef ground mix, and it is phenomenal. I use that for my spaghetti, though. I will say Ben does make a better spaghetti than me. We've been fighting for a long time over this, and I'm here today to say
this is recorded.
Yeah, that
live.
His spaghetti is better than mine.
Thank you.
But with that pork
okay,
belly
you know what? Now I need to admit, that I still make this better than you.
With friends like these guys, this is amazing. You're gonna love it. We're gonna keep this pinned on YouTube so you can go back and watch it. We're gonna email out the recipe again one more time so we use it, guys. Use the code host at home and you'll get 10% off of your purchase. You can totally get the King's Cut box for your dad, for your husband, or significant other, or anytime. Just order it yourself and cook it. It looks amazing.
Check it out. We want to hear from you guys. What products don't we sell that you want us to sell? What other recipes would you like to hear about, see about in future episodes of this? But really importantly, in the chat, tell us what we're a small family business, and we're as we continue to grow, we don't have a business without you guys. So we want to be able to. Ultimately, we would love to be able to sell anything and everything that you guys want. So. Hop into the chat, hop into the comments, and tell us what you're looking for that we don't sell, and tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, because we're not this big, huge corporation. We can read your comments and make changes accordingly. So talk to us.
Yeah, get on there. Go to goodranchers.com. Use the code hosted at home. Dude, this has been awesome with our Ben, our CEO and founder, and obviously my best friend. So thank you guys for making my ginger beef recipe.
Hold on, I forgot. Wait, where's my water gun? Where's my gun? No, my gun. No, the water one. Here it is.
God, this is amazing.
With friends like these, I had this sitting next to me because whenever when he was, I was prepared when he was going to try to take credit for this, that I could shoot him like this, but they hid it from me. It's just water.
It's or vodka. Anyway, I don't know. Just kidding. It's water.
It's
Guys,
definitely water.
GoodRanchers.com. Ben, thank you for hanging out with us tonight, man.
No, thank you guys for hopping along with us.
Yeah,
This is
definitely. GoodRanchers.com. We got another hosted at home coming next month. We're going to announce who the celebrity is going to be.
Ooh, a celebrity.
Yeah, it might be a big guy. Might be a big guy that you know. Maybe might be a former wrestler. Might have been on a cooking show. We never know. But you're going to hear about who the next one is coming up soon. Thank you guys for checking it out. Go to GoodRanchers.com and cut.